ああ。ユキならもういないよ。
え、そうなの？
ああ。少し喧嘩になってな。へそ曲げたのか知らんが消えた。
Kinda helps if you're kind of in control for the moment to win an argument.
そうなんだ。ちゃんとしたユキさんとちゃんとまた会えるかな。
I don't doubt it.
ああ。あいつはあれで責任感が強い人間だ。あんな中途半端な最後なんて許さないはずだ。
うん。あ、それより夕ご飯冷めちゃったんじゃないかな。
そうだな。
温め直すから10分ぐらい待っててくれるかな。
10 minutes?
ごめん。
Hasaki dashed out of the room. Yuki wanted to say something. At the end, she held something back. Even though we're the same person, I can't tell what she's thinking. Though to be honest, I don't understand myself all that well either. There isn't very much I know about myself. What do you know? Please, tell me. I learned of my existence through pain. The smell of rusting iron in my nose. A decaying structure, a condemned building. They were the kinds of things I could smell. Ow. Pain ran through my jaw. The smell of iron and this pain. I bowed down on a thumbtack. No, that's it. That's not it. That's not it.
なんだこれ。
なんだこいつ。気絶してたのか?
Oh, did he actually become a thing through that? Because I remember Takuji saying that the new kid arrived, and that's like his first encounter with the new kid. Like after you had to suck some dicks.
何や、格闘の世界だとゼロコンマの奪い合いなんだぜ。
格闘。
Two unfamiliar men, one grabbing my shirt by the lapels. When I saw that, I noticed my shirt was pretty dirty. The buttons were torn off, and there was slobber and dried blood on it. The other two men's shirts were completely clean. A one-sided fight. Are these guys really that tough? Even if they are.
関係ねえよ。
は?
なあ。
I grabbed him by the wrist. Then I used my left hand to drive my wrist into his chest, and my right hand to grab his arm and twist it upward. His wrist into his chest. My body moved with those ingrained motions. When I broke his wrist, he crumbled helplessly. They're not strong at
な
all.
んだこいつ。あっけないな。
It was so easy to grab him by the wrist. How did I get beaten up before?
てめえ。
He clutched his midsection as he fell. I stomped on his face as he laid on the ground. He lost consciousness after the first stomp, but I kept stomping his face into the dirt anyway. When he saw what happened to his friend, the man with the broken wrist screamed. I guess he lost the will to fight. I put all my weight into a kick and got him directly in the jaw. He tried to use his other arm to block it, but he wasn't fast enough, so he fell backwards onto his ass. I straddled him on the ground.
腕程度で終わりだと思ったか。手が開かないな。
My fists were covered in a thick layer of blood. Not just from other people's blood either. My hand was covered in multiple lacerations, each more than 10 centimeters long. Flesh was protruding from the gaping
歯で
holes.
切れたのか。
I'm sure there was more efficient ways of dealing with them if I just wanted to defeat them. At the very least, I wouldn't have punched them in the face so many times. The blood just rushed to my head.
さてと仕上げを。
やめ。許し。
I stuck branches in their nose and mouths and punched them like that. Blood flew everywhere. There was too much blood to see how bad his face looked, but he would probably need stitches in and around his mouth.
やめて。
今まで相手がそう言ってやめたことなんてないんだろう。それにしても
My legs kind of feel breezy. It was very easy to move, but it kind of felt like I was wearing a hakama.
なんで俺は袴なんて履いてるんだ？
Maybe this was a match. That's why I was wearing clothing for martial arts. I'm pretty sure you're just wearing a skirt.
なんだこれ。
It didn't feel breezy because I was wearing a hakama. It was just a regular skirt.
なんで俺がスカート履いてる？てめえら、これは一体どういうことだ？
ごめんなさい。
ごめんなさいじゃねえだろ。
Why would they make me wear something like this? This is a girl's uniform. Why am I wearing a girl's uniform?
なめやがって。
ダメですよ。死んじゃいますよ。
Fearing the worst, I checked my underwear. The underwear was incredibly soft and very tight. The parts that felt kind of rough were probably lace. This isn't something a man should be wearing.
お前ら、俺に何をさせたんだ。
Still don't know how it actually would fit. I was more than just angry, I was desperate. Why am I wearing this? What the fuck was happening up until now? Wearing girls' clothing. And they even made me put on girls' underwear. Is that why it feels so wet down there?
お前ら。
I inflicted as much pain as possible without killing them. This time I focused on inflicting pain on parts of their body other than their faces. They might not be able to hold a pencil for a while. I took one of their uniforms. It was a bit loose, but it was better than nothing. I couldn't do anything about the underwear, so I just didn't wear any. It's not like a man has anything to be embarrassed about if they don't want to wear any underwear. Depends how self-conscious you are, I guess.
なんてこ
How your ego is. If you got a big ego, it doesn't matter. Even if I had no recollection of the event, I can't believe they would do that to me. What utter humiliation. It makes me want to hurt
お
myself.
ぞましい。
I was too scared to ask what had happened before. If I asked, I would have killed them when I heard the
ウェッ
answer.
トティッシュで拭いたが。
That sticky stuff on my body must have been semen. Well, my ass doesn't hurt, so at least the worst thing possible didn't happen. I'd like to believe it didn't anyway.
つうか、掘られるのが最悪かよ。
Thinking about it, it wouldn't be odd if they had done that. I'm getting depressed just thinking
つ
about
う
it.
か、何させられたんだか。
Just to be safe, I rinsed out my mouth too. I didn't know what the hell happened.
いや。この連中を今後死ぬほどいたぶってやれば。
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
ん
Oh, there's Takaji. What? That sound, it wasn't one of the guys from before, this voice. I heard someone's voice from the clothes I took off.
これって。
This whimpering voice, I think I've heard it before. I think I heard it before I came to exist. The discarded clothes rose up and filled out. After the process was complete. Well, that's weird. What?
マミヤ。タクジ。
The discarded clothes on the ground turned into Mamiya Takaji. Mamiya Takaji was still wearing that female uniform as he lay there on the ground, curled into a ball and bawling his eyes out. Somehow I understood everything once I saw that. Where I was, where I should be going. I instantly knew what I was and why I existed.
ある意味恵まれているかもな。
Do other people have such clear raison d'etre? No, they suffer because they don't. But I have been blessed. Because I was born with a reason to exist. No matter what that reason is, it is a blessing.
おい。
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
何やってるの？
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。もう殴らないで。
He's not hitting you,
あのさ、
physically speaking.
ごめんなさいじゃなくて、何してるんですか？
ごめんなさい。
なんであんた女の服なんて着てるの？
あの
キモいですよね。そういうの流行ってるんですか？
Every time I hit him, I felt the same pain. It was completely different from when I was hitting those other guys. I share the same body as this nasty fucker. I'm a separate personality born within this disgusting human being. And my reason to live is...
ちゃんと説明してくださいよ。
To erase Mamiya Takaji. To eradicate Mamiya Takaji's personality and purge him from this body. That's what he wanted me to do. He made me for the purpose of his own destruction. That's why. I feel an intense pain every time I punch him. Every punch lit my brain up with pain. I have pretty good technique. I'm impressed I've never thought this tiny body was capable of inflicting so much pain.
女の服着て何喜んでるんだよ。キモいな。
喜んでなんか
喜んでるだろ。
It was through pain that I first came into existence. That pain turned into light, and then when my vision cleared, the pain sewed in together the world seems. But the light isn't light. The world isn't light. The world isn't vision. I experienced that firsthand. Existence isn't only defined by vision. Then is it defined by the five senses? Sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. Is the world the totality of the things one can sense? There are theoretical things that you don't necessarily experience through the senses, but it still exists in the world. Is it enough to simply see the world? Is it simply enough to hear the world's texture, the world's taste? For instance, the taste of dirt, the smell of grass, the feel of the wind, the sound of the trees swaying in the distance, and the great blue sky above. Because you can have all of that in, say, a really immersive, video game or movie. You can't get all of them, but let's say you did, for an example. There's emotions associated with things that you don't touch. And that if you only limited it to these five senses, you're still lacking connection into a sense of purpose for said world, which is important to conceive of this world. Because the world in totality is how you interpret all of these things when they come together. I saw the clouds racing across the blue sky. I heard the sound of the city. I felt the wind and I tasted saliva. That is the world. The things I can feel make up the world. Everything that has been given to me in this is the world. Most people understand it to be so. But is it truly so? No. I don't believe that for a second. As one who exists only momentarily, I won't accept lies such as the world is everything you can perceive in a given moment. Everything I can perceive is neither the world nor the world's limit. I learned that fact. I know a world that I can't see, hear, touch, and taste. Beyond the edge of the world, I know things that I'll never see, never touch, never feel. It's simple. I was born in this moment. I should know nothing more than what I can perceive at this moment. I know nothing. And yet this building that I'm looking at right now, even if I can't see its interior, I know its interior. I can imagine what lies on the other side of the wall. I can imagine what lies beyond the sky. What's more, I know the meaning of many things impossible to experience. It's perfectly natural. For instance, say someone passes a house every morning on their way to school. It doesn't matter who it is. A normal house that doesn't stand out in any way. That someone sees the house's door every morning. Not a door that anyone would pay attention to. Why don't we fear what lies on the other side of that door? Beyond that door. That could very well be the edge of the world. At the very least, we'll have never seen what lies on the other side. We can't deny the possibility that the world's limit lies on the other side of that door. And yet, we know. Nothing to us lies on the other side. There's no way the edge of the world could lie on the other side of that door. If one doesn't fear when turning a corner, they've never turned before, and they have no reason to fear that door. I know that the world also consists of scenes we'll never see in our lifetime. Sight is not the world. Hearing is not the world. Neither is touch, taste, or smell. It can't even be pain. Then what is the world? The answer isn't actually very complicated. The world is everything that can be put into words. The world is everything that has meaning, truth and fiction. There is such a difference. But it's not so complicated. There's no need to make it sound complicated. There's no need to dwell upon the unknowable.
Te 開かないな。
The thing, though, is with like, oh, the world's what you can put to words. Not necessarily. There's a lot of things you can't theoretically put to words. And there are a lot of subjective meanings that you associate with words. Or like statuses, you know, what define the word happiness. You can't really put it into words what it means. But you can still define a world to include those things that you can't put into words. So I would say that it's not necessarily everything you can put into words, it's also things you can't put into words. I punched too much. I beat 3 people to a pulp in such a short time. But for the most part, I'd agree with this definition. If I truly wanted to destroy them, I could have done it with a tenth as much effort, but my goal was to inflict pain. I used my fist more than necessary.
キモいから、それ脱いでください。ええじゃねえだろ。すぐに脱げよ。
下着も。
当たり前だ。女物の服なんて脱げよ。
I took the female underwear away from him. When I looked at the name tag, it said Takashima Zakuro. I cleaned the dirty underwear in the sink and used some tissues to get the dirt off the uniform.
この女子はえらい迷惑だな。
Maybe I could have just washed in the laundry, but that girl was probably in quite a bind without her uniform. I found a bag to stick her uniform in and headed to her classroom. That one. There was one lonesome student still in her PE uniform. It looked just like someone had bullied her in her uniform.
まったくくだらないことをするな。どいつもこいつも。
Even if those bullies made him do it, it was still Takuji who actually stole these clothes. It's really not a good situation. I walked up to the crestfallen girl anyway.
誰？
盗まれたんだろ。制服。こん中に入ってるから。
I don't remember this happening.
あなたは？
俺か。俺は。
I almost said I'm Yuki Tomo-san, but I managed to stop myself in time. No one by that name exists.
間宮拓司だ。隣のクラスの。
どうして？
さあな。とりあえず返しておく。なんだ？
すごい傷だらけです。
ん？そうか？
I had touched my own face with my hand. It was covered in cuts and bruises.
取り返してくれたのですか？
Yeah, I also stole it, so
いや
I'm just returning it.
そうじゃない。
でも傷だらけです。
脅されて俺が盗んだんだよ。それを返しに来た。 そういうことだから。
I quickly left without saying anything else. Partly because I didn't want to associate with anyone Mamiya Takaji didn't know. But more importantly, I'm no good at dealing with women.
どうしたもんか。
It's after school. The sun is low in the sky. I was alone in the hallway, puzzled. People know nothing at the moment of their birth. A newborn infant can't even look out at the world. At the moment of birth, the only thing they can see is light. Their eyes can't even decipher shapes or colors. I was just less than an hour ago born into this world. And yet I could already differentiate colors and objects, and I had a high-level language skills, compared to an infant anyway. Common sense, at least enough to tell who I am. And on top of that, I apparently had some skill in martial arts. Somehow. I had far greater knowledge, intelligence, and skill than an infant. But on the other hand, there are many things I didn't know. For instance, who I was. No, I know my name, it was Yuki Tomo-san. I also understood that I was an alternate personality created by Mamiya Takaji's unstable mental state. But other than that, for instance, Mamiya Takaji's family, grade, friends, etc., I didn't know any of those. I didn't even know where Mamiya Takaji's house was.
さてと。
What should I do from here on out? There's a lot I know, but also a lot I didn't know.
これからどうするか。
どうすんの？
That was a completely unknown sensation. No, it reminded me of one thing. It was close to the feeling of my birth, a pain that somehow felt like a sound.
誰だ?
I turned to face the voice I heard, but no one was there. This pain. No, this is the voice. Is this the voice? The voice resounded inside my head.
なんだよ。全然ダメだな。
誰だ?
It was the same voice. Every time I heard the voice, a sensation almost like pain raced through my brain.
くそ!
I looked for the owner of that voice. I surveyed the hallway. I didn't see anyone. What is this? This is so annoying.
なんだこの感覚.
ちゃんとこっち見なよ。結城友実くん。
なんだと?
Just now, they called my name. How would they know my name?
あれ？名前間違ってたっけ？でも結城友実でいいんだよね。間宮友実とかじゃないよね。
お前誰だ?
My eyes had lost their focus. It was like I was listening to a radio that wasn't quite tuned to a station. That was the only way to describe that strange feeling.
下手くそだね。しゃあないな。
Someone hit me with a powerful blow in the chest, knocking me back. I'd felt the same thing, something in the past, or maybe that was just my imagination. I was just born into this world today. I didn't have any memories of my own. Then are those memories of Mamiya Takuji's past? Is this someone who Mamiya Takuji has been struck by in the past? No, now's not the time to be thinking about that. The direction of the next attack. I took up a defensive stance, facing the direction the attack had come from. Someone definitely just hit me. That's all. There's no way my attacker would be invisible. They have to be hiding somehow. I sharpened my
よしよ
senses.
し。戦いの中でこそ感覚を研ぎ澄ませるタイプか。私好みの子だね。やっぱり友さねは。
I turned to the voice. A person that wasn't there before. Why is she wanting to fight? I was shocked to see her standing there, calm and composed, as if she had been there the whole time.
誰だお前。
さーて、誰でしょう。
She wasn't tall. Her body was thin, too. And more importantly, she wasn't a man. I can tell. God, if they give her a dick. Was it really this woman that just hit me? I will say, it's actually surprising she doesn't have a dick, since Takuji's really into that. Give Riruru and Ayano one, but not her. Was it really this woman that just hit me? That's hard to believe. More importantly, why is she attacking me? Thank you. No reason came to mind. The reason my body remembered all these attacks was probably because Mamiya Takuji had experienced a similar attack. If so...
お前もさっきの連中の仲間か。
No.
さっきの連中？ああ、なるほどね。あいつらのことか。城山とか沼田とか西村とか？
やはりな。なんだお前。手下がやられたからお礼参りってわけか。
なんだそりゃ。お姉さん友さねのバカさに少しがっかりだわ。まあいいけど。
Yeah, always calling you big sister, apparently.
怖い怖い。やっぱり早いな。
What's the meaning of this? She's so strong. She's nothing like those guys I fought earlier. Can't believe this woman is beating me.
あらあら、信じられないって顔ね。世の中広いんだからあんたより強い人間がいたって不思議じゃないわよ。それが女でもね。
世の中広いって自分が通っていた学校内の話だろ。
What's going on? I wouldn't lose to amateurs, no matter how many of them came at me at once. But against this woman, she's stronger, maybe even stronger than me.
まあいいや。構えたままで悪いけど、自己紹介しておくわ。私は水上由紀。あんたのお姉さん。
姉？
好きあり。甘いぞ友さね。隙があってから3手までさばいたのは褒めてやるけどな。
汚ねえぞ。
だってすんげえ間抜けな顔だったから思わず一撃入れてみた。
どこが一撃だ。ちゃっかり4手まで入れてきただろうが、うぜえ野郎だ。
野郎じゃないよ、女の子だってばさ。
Fine, you're just a bitch.
うるせえ。